Murder Drones episodes 7 and 8 are coming out this spring. This could mean anywhere between March and May. With these two new episodes rapidly approaching, I'm going to give my miscellaneous thoughts about what I think these two episodes may contain, along with some small theories that were too small to make themselves their own video. Murder Drones consists of 6 episodes, each around 20 minutes long. So I'm going to try to recap the entire series so far in under 10 seconds. In all seriousness though, you should definitely go rewatch Murder Drones if you don't remember it all, because it's a great show and it's definitely worth your second or 50th watch. The first thought I have, or question I have, is who killed Uzi's mom? That person is N. Most of the evidence I have to support this theory is that in the sneak peek we got for episodes 7 and 8, we see Uzi crushing N's hand. Now, why would Uzi do this? Why would she crush her boyfriend's hand? Well, maybe that's because she found out that her boyfriend killed her mom. This theory suggests that Uzi is in control when she crushes N's hand and not the absolute solver / Sin. There's only really one good piece of evidence that supports this theory, that being that Uzi's hand light when she crushes N's hand is still purple. We've seen Uzi completely taken over by Sin / the absolute solver, and when she is, her hand light turns yellow. However, in this scene, her hand light is purple, not yellow, suggesting that she's still in control. This theory suggests that Uzi is completely taken over by the absolute solver, and that Uzi isn't actually crushing N's hand, it's actually the absolute solver hijacking her body. We know this is possible because in episode 6 of Murder Drones, we saw that Uzi was completely taken over by Sin, or the absolute solver. The chances of Uzi being taken over completely by Sin or the absolute solver again in episodes 7 and or 8 are pretty high. You could say that the evidence from the previous theory disproves this one. However, if we look at a different scene from the sneak peek, we can see that Uzi's lights on her head are purple, yet her hand lights are yellow. So this could mean that the lights on her head and hands are just swapped in this scene, and her eyes are actually yellow instead of her hand light, which would mean that Sin / the absolute solver would be at least partially in control. Why hasn't Doll been taken over by the absolute solver yet? This could just be chalked up to a plot hole, however, I don't think so. Uzi's been taken over by the absolute solver in episode 6, while Doll hasn't shown any signs of being taken over by Sin / the absolute solver, at least on camera. I think this is happening because Uzi hasn't been taking the precautions she needs to take in order to not be taken over by the absolute solver / Sin. We already saw that in episode 4, Uzi started overheating because of a lack of oil, while Doll doesn't have to worry about overheating because of a lack of oil because she ate all her classmates. Also, in episode 6, Uzi is sedated with magnets and has to strain her absolute solver powers in order to save her friends, which causes Sin, or the absolute solver, to take over. In short, Doll basically never has to strain herself too much, and Uzi does, which causes Uzi to be taken over by the absolute solver. In a smaller recap, basically, Doll ate her vegetables and Uzi didn't. No, she's not dead. How do I know this? It was an off-screen death, and there are basically clones of robots now, I guess, because that's how Jay's back.
Effective drones were cloned more.
So if Jay can afford to die twice, I think V can afford to die once. Yeah, so there are clones now. That's how Jay came back for the 3rd time. Although it isn't exactly clear what this means, I'm hoping to see a scene where one of the murder drones sees like a whole bunch of copies of themselves, because I think that could be pretty cool. We've gotten a lot of hints that Tessa isn't exactly who she says she is, such as all these zoom-ins on her mask.
I think she's right.
Whether that means she's just straight up not Tessa, or just more cruel than she was when she was a teenager, I could still see Tessa not giving 2 shits about V's sacrifice in episode 7. Anyway, those are pretty much my random thoughts and theories about Murder Drones. I'll probably make more videos about this series in the future, especially after episodes 7 and 8 come out. However, I do want to talk about other things about this show, like the characters or what I think the sneak peek photos mean. So I'll probably make those in the near future, Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.